Zacks Rank Buys, stocks with a short-term buy or strong buy recommendation. Now, here are more Zacks Rank Buys. Well, if you want to know which stocks were on the aggressive growth track, you came to the right place. We'll give you some insight on a couple of them anyway with Bill Wilton, our aggressive growth stock analyst at Zacks.com. And you've got one interesting one here that I was just kind of getting up to speed on before we started rolling. lululemon athletica, LULU, the ticker symbol, they actually make and sell yoga clothing and equipment. And I had said that I didn't know that there was an actual need for yoga clothing. But
yeah,
it was corrected very quickly.
It's actually, a pretty popular segment of the market. A lot of women are opting to gear toward a yoga style, when they're around town, just because it's more comfortable. They don't have to get dressed up and looks a lot better than just regular sweatpants and a hoodie. But they do have a functional purpose. A lot of people purchase them for yoga classes, which are, as I'm sure you know, is kind of a rage right now. They also make those mats and other equipment for the classes. More importantly, though, they just put out their quarterly results on December 9th, which saw a 30% increase in revenue. Their same-store sales were up about 10%, so it's good that they're getting that organic growth, not just expanding. Income from operations up 60%, so it was definitely a fantastic quarter. They beat by about a penny, which is not a huge earnings surprise, but it is their sixth consecutive, so they do have a very stable history of topping Wall Street's expectations.
So are they considered specialty retail?
I guess you could say that, but the fact that it's not just for classes, people use them as more of a casual style.
Wear, yeah.
Yeah, so it's I guess it could be if you wanted to, but it's not that specific. So it's not too specialized.
All right.
Here you can see that the estimate revisions have gone up a little bit, and they're projecting some excellent year-over-year growth. They did go down to a Zacks rank number 2 since I had written about them. Not too big of a deal because as these estimates come in, theirs are probably a little bit stale, but going into their next report, you should see another bump in those earnings estimates. So it should be back to a number 1 in no time. Also, their share price is showing a lot of momentum right here. The MACD is about to cross over, which is a signal for momentum-based traders. And it also bounced nicely off this recent low here, which is something that I mentioned in the article that I was looking for that to happen. That was a few days ago, so it turns out it did. So that's definitely a bullish sign.
Good. And then you also wrote recently about AmeriCredit Corporation in the financial space, ACF, the ticker symbol.
Yeah, and what they do is they buy up auto loans from dealerships and essentially give people that may not be able to get financing through a bank or the normal channels. So they do a little more high-risk loans. They sell repossessed cars
Subpar is what it's called.
Subpar.
Subpar lending.
True. Sounds eerily familiar. How did we get in this mess?
Really?
But their quarterly results came out in late January. They saw an 18% increase in those loan originations. So they're getting people that went ahead and bought a new car through the Cash for Clunkers program, all sorts of things that are spurring on this auto rebound, if you will. They're definitely reaping the benefits there. Their earnings per share came in at 22 cents, almost 3 times the Zacks consensus, which was about 8 cents headed into the report. This is their 5th consecutive earnings surprise, and the past 4 of them have been more than double what the consensus was. So they're not only are they just beating, but they're beating by a wide margin, especially for the past 4 quarters. They also had some positive comments, which is what the market really likes to see. So it's no surprise that they're also projected to grow solidly this year. And those bullish comments, they also cause the share price to do this, which is what we all like to see.
Right.
You always want to see those lines headed to the upper right of that chart. So they also have some solid momentum here that are carrying over from that earnings report.
Yeah, I actually had somebody in the credit industry one time explain to me that just because people are qualified for subpar loans only doesn't mean that they're necessarily deadbeats and that they don't pay their bills.
Yeah.
So he went on to explain that that is actually, from their side of the equation, a pretty lucrative market.
Absolutely. And as you know, and just about anything out there can ding your credit score.
Today anymore.
Yeah. So, a lot of those people do end up paying their bills quite regularly. If they don't, they can go ahead and repurchase or repossess their car.
Right.
And if they do, they're getting those interest rates that are, pretty lucrative for the credit company.
Yeah, exactly. Do you own either of these two?
I do not.
All right, check out more aggressive growth stock picks as well as stock picks and other investing categories on Zacks.com's homepage. We put 4 new ones up there for you daily, one in each of the investing categories that we write about. With Bill Wilton, I'm Terry Ruffolo.